visually for the 2.0 Stelvio, there are a few differences right off the bat. The regular one does not give you the hood vents. You have 19-inch wheels that are different. There are some different options. This one does not have the 5-hole design. However, that is an option on some of the models. And of course, the front bumper is a bit different, a little less aggressive when it comes to just the overall design. Also, you don't have the widened, aggressive kind of wheel flares on the front, and definitely on the back, quite a bit more aggressive, you'll see in the Quadrifoglio. From the rear, there are also some subtle differences. The most noted is being no quad pipes and a little less aggressive diffuser situation, but the lights, everything else is the same. In terms of the interior, the steering wheel is a little different in the design. You don't have the carbon fiber accents, you don't have the red start-stop button. And in this trim, obviously this is more of a wood grain type of finish. You know, they do have options. I believe you can upgrade to the carbon fiber, you can upgrade to the red interior, but this is a more basic model here, and you know, definitely is just more basic. So a little different dash design. You don't have the red stitching. The gauge, you're missing obviously the Quadrifoglio badging, but other than that, the buttons, the internals, they're both 2018 models, so that trying to keep that as similar. You know, all these button clusters, all the controls on the steering wheel and the blinker and all that stuff. You got your 2 cup holders, USB, same type of storage in here. And however, the biggest difference is these seats. The lack of these bucket seats is huge. I really feel like you kind of slide forward as you're driving. It doesn't hug you into place like the Quadrifoglio does. And then of course the rear seats and everything, it is the same. This does not have the upgraded speakers. That's another difference. And no panoramic or no kind of sunroof. So this is a more basic Stelvio from 2018. And that's what this thing brings you. And of course, the biggest difference is right up front. So let's check that out. So here's the biggest difference. You got the 2.0 single turbo engine in this thing. A lot more space to work with. You can actually see the belt. You don't have to take apart the whole front end, I imagine, to replace it and service it, which is nice. So yeah, you also get some basic pedals, but you do get the nice logo. There's the Alfa logo on the brake, in case you forget and need to check down there. This has the upgraded all-weather floor mats, as well as the Quadrifoglio. So that's the same, but you can see how these seats are not really bucket. I mean, kind of bucket up here, but not a true bucket seat, especially down here. My butt is boom, boom, boom all over the place. So that's the biggest difference I notice immediately outside of the drive and feel of it when it's moving. One more performance piece is you do not get the paddle shifters, but you can use the Tiptronic on the shifter. When it comes to the Quadrifoglio exterior, you get that aggressive front end, the functional hood vents here that you can see the heat coming out. You get wider wheel flares here, especially in the rear, wider tires, 285 that come stock. These are aftermarket wheels and tires for the winter. In the rear, we got the quad pipes. You got the more aggressive diffuser here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's carbon fiber. And then when you go around and just look at the overall exterior, it is much more aggressive. Even, you know, this car is slightly lowered, but regardless, it just has a much more aggressive stance and look than the 2.0. And here's where the real difference is. It's the 2.9 liter twin turbo V6 Ferrari inspired 505 horsepower monster. So here we are inside the Quadrifoglio, also 2018 model. You can see the detail, the dash, the finishes are definitely a bit more upgraded. You got the leather stitching. Sorry, the glare there, you might not be able to see that, but you got the carbon fiber. This has the red interior option, carbon fiber where all that wood grain was before, and the two-tone with the black and the red, just in the carbon obviously, just gives it that extra bit of flair. You got the badging, let's see, you got the red start stop, you got the carbon fiber on the steering wheel, you got the upgraded speakers. The other buttons are all the same, but now you do have these massive metal shifters on either end that make shifting just so enjoyable. And again, the seats are massively different. You got the true bucket seats in here, all my mess here, sorry, but you can see the difference. You got the two-tone leather with the the heck's this called, the something Terra, whatever. Yeah, correct me in the comments, you know what it is. But it's surprisingly nice in the summer. It doesn't get too hot, so you don't need those AC seats like I had in my last car. Just added weight that you don't need. Everything else is the same except for this lovely panoramic window up there. It does make the car feel a little bigger. It's always nice to see the sky on a sunny day. Now let's go to the big difference, and that's the drive, the feel, and obviously the performance. Let's go. So when driving this thing, it is an absolute beast, and night and day when it comes to sitting in this Quadrifoglio versus the regular Stelvio model. And first thing is the seat. Like I said before, these seats just hug you into place. I'm not moving left or right, and if you are, it's very minimal. The worst thing I hate about the regular Stelvio seats is I feel that I slide forward in them, and that's just really awkward and uncomfortable. In this car, I mean, I feel like I'm freaking glued in here. I'm not moving, I'm not sliding. So that's the first thing I feel, and I think that it's a game changer, even just for, you know, you don't have to be driving like a maniac to appreciate that, in my opinion. Next is the steering. The steering on this is super responsive and super tight. Not that it's not responsive in the regular Stelvio, but there is a lot more body sway, body roll. You know, the suspension's obviously different, the tires are different, the wheels are different. This car is lowered a little bit, so that kind of helps with that as well. But even before I did that, you could tell that it was just more stable. I feel like this thing just hugs the ground. Yeah, so I mean, when I'm going left and right with this steering wheel, you can't even tell that I'm moving, or I don't feel it. You know, I feel secure, and that's just amazing if you're into cornering. I live around some windy roads, so I definitely kind of appreciate it and take advantage of that stability. When it comes to comparing the performance, there's nothing like it. You know, the 2.0 isn't bad, it's quick, it's fun, but it just doesn't have that go, go, go. Like when you hit this thing, it just keeps going. It feels like you can never run out of acceleration, and it's just amazing. In day-to-day driving, the 2.0 is pretty fun as well, but it just doesn't compare to the 2.9 twin turbo 505 horsepower of the Ferrari inspired Quadrifoglio, and that's why people love it. Now, there are a few drawbacks of the performance performance and the sportiness of it. It is a stiffer suspension, obviously a bumpier ride. The tires, the wheel combination kind of all make for a little bumpier ride. So as a daily, it's just something you have to deal with or get used to. Compared to the 2.0 is definitely smoother, not as bumpy.